All right, so many of us have this fixed sort of pathway, pursue your diploma or degree and then find a stable job after graduation. So not many people would take the risk to do something which they felt is their calling. So today, we are fortunate enough to have Marilyn Ang, co-founder of Flint and Steel, brand for designer stationeries here in Sarawak. So welcome to the show, Marilyn.
Hi.
Hi. So, Flint and Steel, when I first look at the brand name, it actually gives me the impression of your products that is probably decorative ornaments. I don't know. What do you guys actually do?
Well, it's very, very different from where it started. But we started as a gift and designer stationery brand, where our main products were actually stationeries like books, like we have marks. Those were our first products. But now we are actually more of like, we have branched into many other things like events. We have the small town art market under it. We have a graphic design studio where I do graphic design work. And I also have a retail space.
Wow, there's a lot of things that you guys do. So, way before this, when do you actually started to realize that you have this sort of passion in art and creative matters?
I think that has always been from young. Like my dad would know, actually I wanted to be a pharmacist, when I was in high school. The Asian way, you always want to do something science, something that seems very proper and something that seems very professional, But when we were choosing the course for my degree, my dad was telling me how he saw, like, as young as I was, when we go to the shopping malls, I would be, collecting their brochures, their pamphlets, their flyers, because of the design, the pretty the pretty designs. And when I go to shopping malls and buy clothing, I will keep the tags. So I have lots of them, And when Photoshop first came up, when we were very, very young, I would spend hours and hours on it, like editing photos, creating borders and like decorative borders for it. And like when like the camera started becoming digital and it was a lot cheaper, like taking it out to snap and bringing it around, my dad got me a little digital camera and I wouldn't stop taking photos. So when it came to picking photos, my dad just told me, like, just trust me. You like art, and why not just go explore a little bit more? Because I, as a Asian kid, also I was also in science stream, so the art side was never actually awoken. It was always just sleeping somewhere at the side, and I always thought that I was born to do science. But like, I'm really glad that my dad actually saw that. And he actually, they gave me the opportunity to go explore and further, my discovery about it and see whether I really, really like it. Yeah.
Wow. So there's, you were given the room to explore and check out whether if this is suitable for you or not. So, this business that you guys are doing, it requires you to maybe know a little bit about accounts or business management here and there. How do you prepare yourself for this?
Well, my sister and I, none of us were actually from a business background. We weren't really businesswomen at the beginning, I would say. We just do whatever seems right and whatever seems nice. And I think the business side, when money is involved, you just got to be a lot more careful. And I would say we really, really learn on the job. Like, I have my dad, and I have like some friends that are actually in business with me that I frequently ask for advice and just to check and see whether I'm doing something right, how I price my products, whether I'm actually making money or not. And actually at the beginning also we had a few trial projects where we got to like sell some products and actually learn about business through that. I remember our first ever project, we ended up making a loss instead of making money. We sold a lot, but we didn't price our products properly. But at that time we still had a full-time job, so it was a very good time to learn, and we just learned through little things like that.
Wow, interesting. So you didn't do this, jump in and dive inside it, but you had your own stable job first to do it, and then after working hours, probably you do some hustle income sort of to learn this thing, right?
Yeah. I think like from the beginning, I've always had in mind that I wanted to do my own business because of the flexibility and because of, like
You have the
potential.
control of how the
Yes,
direction you want it to be.
yes, the potential that you can do so much more sometimes, and something that is really meaningful to you when you have when you get to do your own business. But I'm also very, very aware that I needed experience. So in my first job, my attitude really was to learn everything and as much as I can. Yeah, I did a lot. I did many things beyond my job scope. Like, I will go down and watch the back end, how people do things, and just learn as much as possible from everyone in the company. And I knew that when my time was up, I had to start on my own, and yeah.
Cool. So what other preparation did you guys do? Because I see that your business progress from time to time. It is growing. From maybe from your room, then suddenly you go to rent a place to do your small town art market, and then slowly to have your own physical shop. So all these things takes time. So what do you guys do in between?
I don't think like there is anything you can prepare for that much. I guess the best preparation that you can have is like an attitude to learn, because like the journey and the opportunities they're not fixed. They are not something that you can plan 1 year. As much as we like to plan, it just comes on the go. And I think networking is very important. I would say, like, you get to know people, and people actually leads you to opportunities. And they also teach you many things. And I would say, like, the main thing that I focused on in the business was actually networking. Like, I get to know as many people as possible, get to learn from them, and then connect with people that I think we can work together with, and then try to create something together, find opportunities. And in the process, I would say that every opportunity you are given, you are actually given opportunities to learn also. And there will be many, many things that you learn as you go along. Yeah, so I would say the best preparation that you can have for yourself is a very humble spirit, and the spirit to learn, and also, to learn from people.
Okay, so interesting because a lot of opportunities might come and go, but it's not necessary that you're grabbing everything. You are evaluating it, see whether is it worth it or not before you pursue it, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, after I read your website here and there, and I saw that the main event created by you guys are called the Small Town Art Market. Can you share with us a bit? What is it all about?
Okay, maybe I'll tell you about how it started. Yeah, so when we started our business, 2015, end of 2015, that's about 5 years ago. There weren't many other local brands in Kuching. Like, there are some, but then they are, very small, and like they just do it from home, and they didn't really have like a physical store or anything. So 2 months into the business, we got invited by the Collective Art events in Brunei. They were having their 20th anniversary of the BIG magazine, and they had a local event with 50 over local vendors. Brunei is like a small market as well, pretty similar to Kuching. They they don't really have like very big brands to come in because of how small the population is. So in turn, they have like a lot of local startup brands. A lot of people create their own things, create their own local businesses, and do it from home. So when my sister and I, when Reg and I went over to Brunei, we were very, very inspired by the strong community that they have, and the strong appreciation that the local Bruneians have for their local art, and the very, very great support that they give to the local brands. Yeah, so that year we went there. We were very inspired. We had a community there. We made friends. We went back over 8 times in that 1 year. And towards the end of the year, I was, I told my sister that I really want the same for Kuching. Kuching is really small, as we are really small as well. Like we don't have, like, the brands only came in probably like 10 years ago, right? Like,
Yeah.
the malls only started up about like maybe when I was from 2008, 2008.
2008 and 2009, yeah.
Yeah. So I felt like, Kuching, we also have the potential to, go that direction. So in September of that year, Jo from the Granary, she actually approached me and asked me whether I would like to do an event for Malaysia Day. So, I grabbed the opportunity. I did it for the first time. The first time we had no money. We had no, I have no experience whatsoever towards advertising or whatever. And like, we didn't even have much vendors. We only had like 6 vendors, sign up. So with the little money that we have, we did the advertising, we ran tents, and then everything went back into the event. And like we created a small group chat with like all the vendors, and we created visuals so that they can post it, and word of mouth as much as possible. The first event we managed to get about 200 people come to the event, and then in 2 weeks, we had our second event, and that event, 6 vendors grew to 17 vendors. And from there, like the crowd grew as well. And like, it's just been growing since then. And yeah, so that event to me is also like an event where we aim to, showcase the local vendors that we have, a place where, a platform for them to sell the products, for people to actually see what they are doing. Yeah, because back 4 years ago, also the social media scene was just booming. So, those people that are not familiar with digital, they will not know how to put their products out there. So, the event was a really, really good platform where it really brings in the right crowd and the right the right audience. And I remember like how we had so many instances where people would just come to the market and have chats with the makers, the local makers, and just got to get to know what they do behind the scenes, their story behind it, and it was just wonderful.
Then I was wondering, because when you guys started in 2015, 2016, how was the engagement, in a sense that is this thing popular, whereby where do you learn how to promote your stuff, or it's just really just test, you guys just test it out and then see how it goes?
Trial and error, what works and what don't. We try to read up as much as possible, but like the markets on what we read up online and what we have in Kuching is totally different. So we read up and we try to make it relatable.
Okay, so what fueled you guys to pursue one event after another after the first small town art market?
I think it's the community. Like, we realized that in finding in doing this and in meeting so many other like-minded people, the journey of entrepreneurship became a lot more fun. When we were just ourselves, it can be quite lonely sometimes, because we don't have really many friends that are entrepreneurs that are running their own businesses. And then sometimes we face challenges and we feel like we're the only ones going through it, and we can't really talk about it with our friends. But meeting other startups and entrepreneurs, we shared common challenges, and we were able to share solutions as well, and really inspire each other towards growth. And I feel like that growth and that it gave us a lot of like even more passion and inspiration to move further. That can be quite addictive, I would say. And I think also seeing how other people begin to find passion through what they do, that was very, very fulfilling for me.
A lot of things that I think you guys are doing since then. I remember I myself was working away from home, so I was not in Sarawak. But every time I see in Facebook, like, wow, you guys are doing a lot of things and growing. So I'm like, man, I wish I can go home so that I can join.
Mm-hmm.
Until when I came back and I saw you guys back in 2019 last year, right? That's
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
started join with my sister. So
yeah.
very nice, it's a very good event that we can see that you are doing for the community here in Kuching.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so after this, I'll be asking Marilyn more interesting questions. We'll be right back after the break. We're back here with Marilyn, our expert of the day, to talk about how you can turn your hobby into your dream job. So, Marilyn, I'm wondering, during this pandemic, what's your plan to navigate through this situation?
I think the main thing for me is definitely to build my online presence.
Mm,
Before this, it wasn't we focused on it, but we focused a lot more on like the physical store. But I like through the pandemic, we realized the potential for in having an online presence, getting your business online. So
mhm.
we are working a lot more in navigating our business towards that direction.
So you guys were busy taking the photos of all the products, is it? Like, how do you guys do it?
Yeah, I think the first, when we were forced to close in March, the
Hmm.
first thing that we did was actually, to get our entire store online. We did that before, I would say, in the beginning part of our business, but then we didn't have as many products, and that could, drive that much traffic. And also, we didn't have like people weren't very receptive to it. Like people still prefer to actually touch and hold the products before buying it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like yeah, when we were forced to close and we started that, actually the response was really, really different this time. People were a lot more open to it, and yeah, it helped us become a lot more efficient in the way we run our business as well.
How about your other workshop that you used to do, like maybe calligraphy or online event? Do you guys have any plans to pursue that too?
Yeah, definitely. We have some of our vendors who actually started running workshops on Zoom. They actually, what they did was actually they prepared like workshop materials, get it sent to their house, so people just buy the workshop material, and then they meet on a certain time to Zoom and do the class together. Yeah, for our online events, I think at the moment we are looking towards doing a lot of like digital catalogs for now. People can shop online and get their stuff and just come and pick it up, because we want to minimize the traffic, but at the same time we still want to keep the sales high. So I think like what we have to do is also move the whole event platform in a way that it's present online and available, accessible online. So
Mm.
even without coming to the event, you can see exactly what is at the event and what you can buy from it, what you want to get out of it.
So Marilyn, throughout this journey, right? I'm wondering, are you someone who is self-taught or you have a specific guru, sifu to guide you along?
Mm, I don't have a specific seafood, but I like to learn from people. Like, yeah, I would say I'm self-taught in a way that I learn from everyone and
Mm.
everything. Yeah,
Do
every
you do
opportunity.
you refer to any online websites or books that you can recommend to us to read or something?
Yeah, actually, I think like the best place to learn right now, we are very, very fortunate to have lots and lots of resources,
Mm.
online, even just Instagram, just Pinterest, it's endless. You can keep scrolling all day, and I have more um, accounts of people I don't know and other artists than friends on my Instagram. So like at any time of the day, I'm always learning and see what people are doing, exposing
Mm.
myself to what's going on outside of Kuching, outside in the world. There's just so many ways to do things. And like magazines, I read magazines as well. That's one of my hobbies. And yeah, I think, and people have many conversations with people. Don't be afraid to share your ideas with people and to
Mm.
hear what they have to say about it, because sometimes we may only be seeing one perspective, and people have other ways to see it, and it can actually add so much value to us. Yeah.
All right. So would you have done things differently if you could turn back time again?
What kind of things?
The way you manage, or maybe the events you would have go for a certain genre. Would you have changed things, or you still, it's okay, stick with what I am doing right now?
Well, we always grow along the journey, and like, I wouldn't change anything, because I think like whatever that I had to go through, even though it was very, very difficult, it taught me something, and it made me a little bit wiser. So I think like what I want to do in the future is like I would definitely be a lot more quick to adapt to, and like now I'm more exposed to like people and more seafoods in my industry. So
Yeah.
I hope that like we can't get rid of every problem, but we can only get through problems a lot quicker now. Yeah. So I think
Adaptability
just
is like one of
adapt.
the key lah, the key
Yeah.
for this sort of industry that you are in.
Yes.
Because things, you never know what will happen here and there, but at least you have like plan B and C to choose
Yes.
and pick. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's go for a short break before we wrap up this discussion today. Stay tuned, don't go away. All right, we're back here with me, Ryan, your host for Bujang Broke. So, when it comes to business, it's not all bed of roses. And what will be your advice to the people out here who wants to pursue their dream one day?
You always have to take that first step. That first step is not easy, but it will lead you a long, long way. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. The first time we started our business, my sister and I didn't even dare to put our names on the name card. We were so afraid to fail, but we realized that, that is just part of the journey and part of like learning. Always be open to learn. Always be open to grow. Work really, really hard. Do everything with excellence. Be kind and be humble. Yeah, that's my advice I have for people who are starting.
All right, thank you so much, Marilyn. Today we learned quite a lot from you, and being able to network with people, always be open to learn from the people around us, be inspired, help each other, create things that will benefit the community, and not just thinking about how we can make money or sales only. And unfortunately, this program has come to an end. But we'll see you in the next episode to talk about how you can make money through art, especially brought to you by TVS. I'm Ryan, your host for Bujang and Broke, signing out. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.